Hi, fourth graders. This is Miss Kay again with our Unit 3, Lesson 7. So we're going to keep working on our poetry unit today. And here's your vocab. So the first word is beam, and that's a noun, and it's a thick piece of wood. Blithe is an adjective, and that means happy and untroubled. Intermission is a noun, and that is a break in the middle of something. So if there's a play or a concert, about halfway through, they'll have a break where people can go to the bathroom, get drinks and stuff, and that's called intermission. A mason is a noun, and that's someone who builds things with stone. Melodious is an adjective, and that means pleasant sounding. Robust is an adjective, and that means healthy and strong. And varied is an adjective, different from each other or diverse. So we're going to read a poem called I Hear America Singing, and it is by an American poet named Walt Whitman, and we're going to focus on repetition in this poem. So as I'm reading, I want you to listen for the words or phrases that are repeated over and over and over again, and then think about why he thinks that that's important. So when he repeats words, he's trying to emphasize it to us. So what does he think is important about America? What does Walt Whitman think is the most important part about our country? All right. I hear America singing, the varied carols I hear, those of mechanics, each one singing his as it should be blithe and strong. The carpenter singing his as he measures his plank or beam. The mason singing his as he makes ready for work or leaves off work. The boatman singing what belongs to him in his boat. The deckhand singing on the steamboat deck. The shoemaker singing as he sits on his bench. The hatter singing as he stands. The woodcutter's song, the plowboy's on his way in the morning, or at noon intermission, or at sundown. The delicious singing of the mother, or of the young wife at work, or of the girl sewing or washing. Each singing what belongs to him or her and to none else. The day what belongs to the day. At night the party of young fellows, robust, friendly, singing with open mouths their strong, melodious songs. Okay, so remember with poems, we often have to listen to them multiple times until we understand. So please take a couple times to rewind this video and listen to the poem 2 or 3 times through so you can understand what the poem is about. All right, so your questions today, I want to know what is that word that is most often repeated in this poem. So go back, listen, what is repeated over and over and over again. Number 2, we're going to reread this line. I hear America singing, the varied carols I hear. So carols, I want you to think about where have you heard that before? Where do we normally hear carols being sung? Number 3, by using that word carol, so think about where do we sing carols, where do we hear carols, how does that make you think he feels about America? Is this a happy thing, an angry thing, a frustrated or annoyed feeling? Number 4, Whitman also uses the adjective varied to describe the carols. What does the word varied mean? So I went over vocab in the beginning. Rewind, go back, and find that word if you forgot. Number 5, it says Whitman reveals that the people in America are singing, but that they sing very different songs. So I would like you to go back to the poem and name all the different people who are singing. So for example, the first people that he mentioned were the mechanics. So those would be one group of people. Go through and find all the different kinds of people that he talked about in that poem. And then the last one, it says the phrases Whitman uses to reference these singers are all nouns that describe people by one particular thing. So all of these different people you wrote in this box, did that describe their age, their gender, their hobbies, or their jobs. Okay, so that's it for reading. I'm going to go over to skills now. Sorry, didn't have it ready. Lesson 7. Okay, so for your skills assignment today, I gave you the poem again so you can reference it. So up to now, the poems in this unit have used figurative language in clear ways. For example, Sherman Alexie's poem compares basketball to war by saying directly, "For us, it is war." However, poets do not always make their comparisons so directly. As readers, one of the things we must figure out is whether or not Whitman is referring to literal songs that people would sing out loud, or if he is using the idea of singing as a metaphor, or if he is doing both. So when he says people are singing, are they literally singing a song, or is it a metaphor, meaning their song really means something else? So they're not literally singing. He's using that as a metaphor to talk about something else. So I want you to read each question. Let's see. So here's the first quote. Each singing what belongs to him or her and to none else. I would like you to explain this in your own words. So what does this mean about the songs they're singing? What does he saying about each song? Number 2, Whitman makes sure to explain that the singers are all doing some kind of work. Here, he is probably not saying that everyone is singing at their job. So all these singings are not actual songs. People aren't going around singing all the time. He's comparing their work to the song. So I'm going to go through a couple of the different jobs that he talked about, and I want you to tell me, how is that similar to singing a song? So shoemaking. Think about what sounds could be like a song when people are making shoes. How could shoemaking be similar to singing? Number 3, how could plowing a field be like singing? So think of the sounds that are made when people plow a field, the machines that are used, the tools that are used. How can that be similar to singing? Use your imagination, guys. Remember, poetry is lots of imagination. You got to think for your own and come up with a unique answer that you think is true. Number 4, think of a carpenter who is building a piece of wooden furniture. What kind of noises might his tools make? So if you're building a piece of wooden furniture, what kind of noises might we hear? Excuse me. And then number 5, what do you think Whitman would consider the most important trait about America? So he went through all those people, all the different songs they're doing. What do you think Whitman loves about America? What is the most important part of America? And be sure to give a reason there to explain your answer. All right, that's all for today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Adams.